Most people who visit Liverpool do come and have a look at St. Luke's Church, possibly better known as the bombed out church. It was, the roof was set alight by incendiary bombs during the Blitz in World War II, and it's been left like that as a monument and a way of remembering the troubles that the city went through at that time. But what fewer visitors might appreciate is the fact that leading away from St. Luke's and heading down towards the river, down a fairly gentle slope, I guess you'd say, are 6 streets, are known as the Ropewalk area, or Ropewalks. The most famous street in Ropewalks is Bold Street, which is the one that leads directly away from or up to St. Luke's Church, depending on which way you look at it. Filled with lots of independent shops, plenty of cafes, coffee bars, that kind of thing. Clothing, charity shops, of course. It's probably most people's favourite street in the whole of the city. So I've come out today, in fact I was down here yesterday as well, because I've never really done a detailed walk up and down all 6 of these streets. Why are they known as Ropewalks? Well, up until the 19th century, sailing ships ruled the world, of course, and they needed space when they were making ropes for the sailing ships. And these streets, these very long, straight streets, were laid out so that they could manufacture rope for the sailing ships. But it's a common misconception. These streets were never here when they were making the ropes. All they needed, in actual fact, were long, narrow field strips. And that's what these 6 streets were. In other words, the manufacture of rope predates the actual streets. But the name has stuck. Well, I've managed to find somewhere to perch so that I can tell you what I have come out to shoot with. And it is a new lens to me, one that I've been trying to get hold of for quite some time. But the majority of ones that are for sale online tend to fetch rather silly money. And it's a completely new lens for me. Now, not only is it a new lens for me, I never actually owned any of this manufacturer's cameras back in the film days. And it's from Konica. Now, Konica actually have a very long and illustrious history. They were the first manufacturer to make a mass-produced Japanese camera in the 1920s. I think it was called the Pearlette. And then in the 1970s, they were well involved with SLRs. They had the auto reflex. They came out with a lovely little compact, the Konica C35. And it was just a make that I never really got behind. I think in the UK, the distributors weren't that hot. So it just sort of fell off the radar, really. It's the 40mm f1.8 pancake lens from Konica, and it's a Hexanon, which was the name they gave to all their SLR 35mm cameras. It's a 6-element lens. They're in 5 groups, and it has, I think it's 6 aperture blades. Weighs very little. It's really compact. Build quality is absolutely lovely. The focusing is super smooth. This one actually came with a 55mm skylight filter, which I've taken off for the time being. I guess my only gripe about it is the aperture ring, which is a little bit awkward. It's very, very narrow, and for some reason I'm finding it difficult to actually find it when I'm looking through the viewfinder. Of course, it's on the A7 Mark II, And from what I have seen so far, I shot it yesterday and I'll be doing some more today, it vignettes a lot. I've done some comparative shots from wide open down to f22 actually, for you to have a look at. Edge sharpness wide open is nothing to write home about, and hopefully I'll put some demo images up for you to see right now. But this area here, the Ropewalks, the amount of different buildings and shop fronts and signage that you've got means that it's ideal for an urban shooter like me, I suppose. I'm less interested today in traditional street photography. I'm not that worried about getting people involved and included in the shots, but I do want to concentrate on colour and quirky layout of places. So I'll put some images up for you now to have a look at. Tell you one thing for sure, and that is that I wouldn't have thought that I would notice the difference between a 50mm standard focal length lens, using old term technology I guess, but I wouldn't have expected to see the difference between this 40 and a 50mm lens, but it is quite noticeable. I am pleasantly surprised at the extra coverage that it gives. Anyway, we're still on the hunt for some more images.
วันตุเตภวันตุสาพมังคลังรักขันตุสาพเทวตาสัพพธัมมานุภาเวนัสสทธาโสติภวันตุเตภวันตุสาพมังคลังรักขันตุสาพ
Isn't it typical when you say that you're not bothered about including people in the photos today? And we get the Buddhist ceremony there. Ironic they were outside a Thai massage parlour, but apparently the ceremony involved them being given gifts of food. Nice people. It's been a real eye-opener, really. It's a very useful focal length indeed for street shooters. Okay, it's manual focus, so it's never going to be quick. You can't do very many grab shots. The group shots of the Buddhist monks, I just had to set it to something like f8 hyperfocal distance, around about 20-25 feet, something like that, and hope for the best, really. But now, from what has become a fairly chilly morning here in the Ropewalks, I'm going to say enjoy your photography. I hope you like some of the images taken on this vintage lens. It's a winner for me so far. Let me know what you think. Do you shoot vintage lenses? It's fun, believe me. I think I may have said that before. Anyway, take care everybody, and I'll see you all next week. Goodness only knows what I'm going to be showing you next week. Guess it's half the fun, really.